Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Champion crowned at the QBE shootout. A couple guys who had won this event before now won it together in Steve Stricker and Sean O'Hare, able to withstand a late charge from Graham McDowell and Shane Lowry. Welcome to Golf Central postgame. George Savaricas, Brandel Chambly, Billy Kratzer here with you. Billy, feel like we've beaten you down the last few days. Now we get to build you back up. Touching on Sean O'Hare and the performance he was able to help put together with Steve Stricker.
Well, Sean O'Hare, he played brilliantly the whole week long. And, you know, Steve Stricker, he was there. He was very reliable. In fact, on the 14th hole, when Strick made that putt for birdie, that gave him a two-shot lead. That was kind of the, you know, the difference, I thought. That gave him that comfort zone. But for those guys to go out today, they withstood the three bogeys in yesterday's alternate shot, modified alternate shot. But they came out today, and they played absolutely perfect. And that's why they're champions. They played that well.
You know, one of the things about Sean O'Hare, even though I don't think he's really quite regained his equilibrium that he had when he was in his 20s and looked like he was going to be one of the best players on the PGA Tour, is he's still clutch. You know, he's still one of the top 10 players on Sunday. 75% of the time this last year, he improved his position on Sunday. So on payday, he's very good. You certainly saw that today. And it seems somewhat kind of appropriate given the fact that Steve Stricker has had such a marvelous career just below that sort of Hall of Fame threshold. But as they just talked about, one of the most respected guys. So we don't know how much more we're going to see of Steve Stricker. This is kind of an appropriate sort of almost send-off to the PGA Tour champions. And who knows, maybe this will be enough for Sean O'Hare to sort of get that confidence back that made him such a formidable opponent on the PGA Tour.
And let's see how they're able to put together a nice little Sunday and get the W at Tiburon Golf Club. So it was Graham McDowell and Shane Lowry early on making a run.
Nice start. You're right. They birdied 1, they birdied 4, they birdied 6, and, well, one of the best strokes in the world of golf, making another putt right there at the 7th.
So they had a two-shot lead at the time. Sean O'Hare on the 8th.
Yeah, and you heard him when he was speaking about how calming Steve Stricker is, and from that distance, Sean O'Hare kind of struggles a little bit, but calm this week.
Well, these two, and I think that's an interesting point. They do kind of remind me of each other. They have the same sort of cadence when they speak. They're both very humble men, and cut putt at the 8th, a nice hook putt there by Stricker at the 9th. Well done.
And then this from O'Hare on 11.
Yeah, this is a nice shot right here. You can see how quickly the club exits to the left. So he's trying to hold it off just a little bit, trying to keep this ball from going left. That whole location on the left, beautiful golf shot by O'Hare.
So they'd make birdie. They had the solo lead at that time, 23 under.
And Graham McDowell and Shane Lowry's last birdie was the 7th hole. So they were certainly due. And, right, the frustration is starting to creep up for both of them.
And this is the shot right here, George, that I thought was the difference maker, because Steve Stricker, he was pretty much leaning on Sean O'Hare a lot up until this point. Comes up big with a wedge shot and makes the birdie.
And now Graham McDowell trying to make a birdie, and surprising misses here, leaving the door open for Stricker and O'Hare.
G-Mac on 15, his approach.
Well, and this is a good one. And he needed to come up big because he didn't birdie the par 5, and that about 7 feet. Really a nice shot.
So this is a must-make for G-Mac.
Good look at his stroke. And finally, when you're missing them, well, as they say, just hit them closer.
So they were down 1 with 3 holes to go. O'Hare, par 5, 17th.
Well, this is money. In the air, high. You know, when eyes connect to the golf ball and the flagstick, you know it's good.
What a shot. So he had about 15 feet for his eagle try. Now Lowry with G-Mac already in the bunker.
That's right, and plenty of pep in that golf swing. And you'd think he liked it. In the air, it had to look good, but it ended up right up against that. Nothing artificial about that. It's painful, Billy.
Oh,
painful.
Absolutely. And you saw G-Mac miss the short one at 13 down the hill. This one, I just cannot believe it just doesn't turn a smidge to the left. Misses there, and another par on a par 5.
And a great look at a great stroke right there. Sean O'Hare, classic action. Reminds me a lot of Tiger Woods' stroke or Jimmy Walker's stroke. relaxed arms, and Big Bird gave him a 3-shot lead playing the last hole.
And then down the hill, low round of the day was 63, and actually Stricker already in with 4, but 2-shot win for the duo. And it wouldn't surprise me, George and Brandel, if Sean O'Hare doesn't find the winner's circle next year in 2018 as the calendar turns.
Early call.
Good
Liked
stuff. Yeah. So Sean O'Hare, Steve Stricker win by 2. They also beat a certain over-under that was laid out on Golf Central pregame of 24.5. We'll get to that later in the show, guys. And a look at the track record for these two guys. If you remember 2009, 2012, seems like they have good vibes at Tiburon, to say the least, Brandel.
Well, you were asking us this morning what makes a good partner. Either one of these players, to answer your question, as it turns out.
Well, a good duo that actually made a little Sunday charge was Lexi Thompson, Tony Finau. Boy, what a slow start they had on Friday. First 6 holes. After that, they really came together. Here's Lexi, started tentative round 1 with the putter.
That's right. And early on, both Tony Finau and Lexi Thompson were missing key putts, but they were able to turn it around almost on cue with Lexi sort of lighting the flame, so to speak.
So they shot 9 under 63 as part of the 2-player scramble. Alternate shot was where they really made a run up the leaderboard.
This was just a fabulous golf shot. This was a 6-iron. This was finishing up the second round. No one hit it closer, but if I'm going to give an MVP out this week, I'm giving it to that girl right there. I mean, she stood up to the pressure and she showed up big.
Speaking of big, this is the 14th hole playing into the wind today. Nobody able to get there in 2 except for, well, Tony Finau. And how about a phenomenal shot? Just spot on.
Absolutely smoked that, so.
Speaking of smoke.
We've already seen one good shot here to 17. That was Sean O'Hare. This was a 9-iron by Tony Finau.
9-iron to a par 5.
That's ridiculous. Finau would eagle that hole. Lexi trying to finish strong again on 18.
This is just bad luck, Brandel.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that this is not.
I mean, it looks perfect there.
And it gets worse.
This is cruel.
So you think it's going to hang up there. It just keeps trickling and trickling and trickling. That's when you think the golf gods are a little unfair.
Well, as she's done all year. Beautiful bounce back. Almost chipped it in. That would have been fitting.
So they had a 6 under 66, wound up in a tie for 4th as we take a look at Lexi Thompson the last 2 years at the QBE shootout. Definitely a marketable improvement, Billy, from last year to this year with what she and Tony were able to do.
Well, her iron play this week, George, was so on the mark that it gave Finau the opportunity to make some putts, and you know, with his drives being out there longer than anyone, she took advantage of it, and it was a great team.
Well, we spent a lot of this latter part of the year talking about players with great potential for 2018. Tony Finau's name really hasn't come up. It should. He's such a soft-spoken man that he doesn't beat his own chest, but there are a lot of reasons to like Tony Finau going forward, not least of which that he will be playing in his first Masters. Well, we've just had a good look at his capability on par 5, so I'm excited going into the Masters to watch him.
I was just about to say that number 41 in the world now, top 50 in the world. His climb since getting to the PGA Tour has gone like this.
Yeah.
He's going to learn how to win. He changed his putting stroke mid-year. He used to be left-hand low, went conventional. I think it's a better stroke conventional than what I saw left-hand low. So I'm looking very much forward to seeing Tony Finau with what he does in 2018, because I think it's going to be better.
And he's already had some success in major championships, so it would be just, I think, fitting for him to go into the Masters and play well. And then just looking at Lexi Thompson, she did have the lowest scoring average on the LPGA Tour this year, and in sort of a weird way, I think all the trials and tribulations of this year will help her in knowing that she can go forward and take the worst that this game can throw at her, and she can still bounce back. She's got a lot of areas where I think she can make an improvement, and having said that, she's the best player in a lot of aspects on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, extremely resilient 2017 for Lexi Thompson going into 18. As we take one final peek at the leaderboard from the QBE shootout, it was Steve Stricker, Sean O'Hare with that 2-shot win. As you dive deeper down the leaderboard, Zach Johnson, Charlie Hoffman, low round of the day with a 9 under 63, got them to 8th. Chantel McCabe spoke with the winners in tonight's Titleist Tour Report.
8 under in better ball. You pull off this win. What did it take to get this win?
I think we just both played well. Steve was telling me, on the front nine, just let's have 2 chances at birdie every hole as much as we can. And once we started doing that, I thought we made a lot of birdies coming in and gave ourselves a really good shot at winning, and we pulled it off.
It took going through scramble, alternate shot, finishing with better ball, but you were talking to me earlier in the week about how utilizing his drives and short game from you was really a healthy mix. Why so?
Well, you pair up his length and just the two games meshed really well, I thought, especially that first day when he's bombing it down there, and I'm hitting in 2 and 3 clubs less than I normally hit in, short irons, and I get to look at his putting, and he putted great this week and played great all week, and it just was an easy pairing for us. We're friends. We enjoy being around one another, which is always a key in this sort of event, and we had a lot of fun, and it showed out on the golf course.
You could have really had a run for your money at the end, but you separated yourself from the pack with an eagle at 17. What happened on that hole?
Steve was talking to me going up to 17T, just saying that a 3 would go a long way, and that's all we were thinking about. Just get a couple nice drives out there, and I had a really good number with a 7-iron, and I just was telling myself I've done this 1,000 times, so just do it again, and I felt really good with my ball striking this week, and not so much on the greens. I was a little uncomfortable on the greens, and I was a little shaky on that putt, but it was nice to see it fall and give us a little bit of a pad going into 18.
Got a lot to get to tonight. He's a 75-year-old, says he has 80 holes in one. Is he full of it? Is he a record setter? You buying it? It's ace hole. Yes, I just said that on television. Trust me, the story is worth the wait. Plus, what was Ernie Els doing at the Heisman Trophy ceremony? This is Golf Central.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. Bushnell Golf and the Pro X2 with enhanced slope switch technology.